Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Police are putting out the warning in Ann Arbor. They plan to crash some college parties in order to stop students from spreading COVID. Paula?
As the start of the school year, whatever that looks like to your district looms closer, there's still more confusion than there is really understanding of what's going on for some school districts, and I'll explain why.
And a tragedy involving an 8-year-old girl who was just walking on the sidewalk with her mother when a car hit and killed her.
Thanks for being with us tonight at 6. Several people saw the accident in a neighborhood on Detroit's east side.
They describe it as a car that was out of control and speeding when it hit Lauren Johnson and her mother. Larry Spruill is live in the neighborhood where it happened. Larry, people there say speeding is all too common in this area.
That's exactly what they're saying, Kimberly and Devin. We are here on Connor Street where that accident happened. Right now, if you can look behind me tonight, those teddy bears are in place of where that accident happened earlier this weekend. Now, people say that people speed down this is often too much. And right now, witnesses recall the horrible details of what happened.
I came out the house to a loud crash. I seen the young lady panicking and terrified that something had happened.
Javonna Owens is replaying the horrific details of a crash that killed 8-year-old Lauren Johnson Sunday afternoon around 3:40 here on Connor Street on Detroit's east side.
She was coming from the corner. She almost hit my niece at the corner. Came flying. She hit the Malibu that was parked across the street, bounced off the Malibu, hit the curb and swiped the tree and came through the lawn. And she ended up right here,
hitting little Lauren and her mother. Owens says she ran to the 8-year-old girl to help.
Her arms was messed up. She was bleeding really, really bad. She couldn't breathe. And I stood there until the ambulance come. I talked to her because I know that even with stuff going on like that, they still can hear you. I tried to calm her down. And
now, Detroit police say the driver is 16 years old and was driving a 2007 silver Ford Focus. Police don't know who the car belonged to, but the driver claimed she could not stop and lost control.
People fly up and down the street with no regards to life.
Denise Henson also witnessed the incident. She's begging for something to be done.
Consequences need to be needs to be some severe punishments. Not a ticket. What is a ticket? A piece of paper. It don't matter.
You took that baby life. An 8-year-old. You took an 8-year-old life and can't nobody bring that baby back. I feel really bad for the mom. Very, very bad. I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
And right now that family is preparing funeral arrangements for that little 8-year-old girl. The mom is recovering tonight. We're live on the Detroit East Side tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Just absolutely heartbreaking, Larry. The driver, so you mentioned she's 16 years old. What else do we know about the driver, her condition? Was she arrested?
And Kimberly, we really don't know more than what you just mentioned. We do know that she is a juvenile, and right now police are saying because she is a juvenile, they cannot release that information whether or not she was arrested. They did say that charges could be filed against her.
And your neighbors are right. Car speeding right behind you there as you're doing this live shot.
Yeah.
You be careful out there, Larry. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that didn't exactly sound like the speed limit. Yeah, all right, yeah. An update now to breaking news that we've been following for the last hour or so. A missing baby who police feared was in danger, happy to report, has been found. Ivy De La Rosa had last been seen in Melvindale. The baby has been located safe in Perrysburg, Ohio. Police say she is being brought back to her family in Michigan. All right, Michigan's coronavirus numbers remaining steady today. State reporting 419 new cases and 19 additional deaths. 11 of those discovered, as we've seen happen often lately, during a review of past records.
Eastern Michigan University announcing today students planning to live on campus this fall will be required to undergo COVID-19 testing prior to arriving on campus.
Michigan High School Athletics Association put out word today that football practices will be permitted to continue this fall, despite the season being pushed back to spring of next year. Teams may hold 16 practices between August 24th and October 31st. Players will wear helmets, though no pads, and they do have to follow all COVID-19 safety protocols.
The state says COVID-19 outbreaks had been reported in at least 14 Michigan schools as of August 6th. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says the outbreaks are at K through 12 schools and universities. At least 10 of those outbreaks are in southeast Michigan. The schools are not being named. The report comes just weeks before schools are set to return for the new academic year, in which some districts are offering in-person learning.
We've heard the state's top medical experts warn repeatedly that young people are spreading coronavirus at social gatherings.
Colleges are concerned, and in Ann Arbor, there's a new plan to crack down on the parties. Grant Herms lays out what police will be doing as students arrive at U of M.
Students we talked to have said they've seen or heard of parties on social media, although we haven't been able to find many. But those parties are why police are saying they're cracking down just before the semester starts. Moving season in Ann Arbor. As students come back for a socially distanced semester, word of parties and large gatherings spreading around campus, potentially spreading the coronavirus. So this week, Ann Arbor and U of M police announced they were teaming up to canvass neighborhoods looking for parties. In a tweet, Ann Arbor police saying volunteer groups of faculty, staff, and students will be canvassing 7 days a week to start the semester before cutting back to Thursday through Saturdays as classes get into full swing. Michigan senior Trevor Cornega spends most of the summer in Ann Arbor. He says he hasn't heard of any parties, but would like to see more masks.
I haven't seen any, not recently. I know at the beginning, back in March, I did see a few around the corner, but none recently.
There's like areas that are very close contact. It's a little anxiety inducing.
Lana Catali is just 16, but she says she's seen videos from friends flaunting parties on social media and said it's made her nervous.
I've told several people that they should stop what they're doing, obviously, and I've cut off like a couple of hangouts with some of those people because I think that it's like really unsafe.
According to university data, U of M has tracked right along with the statewide trends, going up at the end of the semester and the 4th of July and then coming back down in the recent weeks. Just last week, there were only 2 cases here on campus, and officials are hoping to keep it that way. The first official move-in date is Monday. In Ann Arbor, Grant Herms, Local 4.
Okay, Grant, and there are some tough lessons being learned by school districts and families who thought they had solid plans in place for the fall. Parents in one district just learned there won't be in-person learning after all, and many of them are understandably frustrated. Paula Tutman has a look at how both sides are dealing with the new normal of plans changing without much warning.
Cue the confusion as some school districts struggle to get school reopened in some capacity while watching science, college parties, school shutdowns in Georgia, strike votes in Detroit, and the progression of a virus that is still very, very much a part of our current landscape.
We'll move on to the return to school roadmap and update.
In Anchor Bay, it was decided that there would be an in-person option, and then after the deadline, during a 5-hour school board meeting last night, there were a lot of agenda items, including a last-minute change of plans from face-to-face to starting the year with remote learning only.
I truly feel that that's the safest for our teachers, for our students, for the rest of the staff, our bus drivers, to throw, okay, so we can't social distance on the bus because we would only be able to fit 12 kids on a bus. So let's just throw a bunch of kids at that bus driver or the food service because it's the popular decision. Well, sometimes things aren't popular.
And as you can imagine, there are unhappy parents. In a written statement from the communications director of the district, we want parents to know that safety remains our top priority, and we will continue to look for ways to implement the strongest safety measures outlined in the governor's roadmap in order to transition to face-to-face instruction. We fully agree that the optimal learning environment for students is in our classrooms with our highly skilled teachers. But this is not just an Anchor Bay problem. This is a nationwide problem as educators scramble to secure learning for their students while waiting for critical budgeting, while looking at the science. Dr. Robert Shaner of Rochester Community Schools confides what probably many superintendents are feeling.
It is simply the most complex thing that I've dealt with in my career as a public servant.
And that's saying something because you're a former Marine.
Yes, I am, and that includes my saying that includes a tour in Somalia as part of an amphibious landing, which is probably the most complicated military exercise that you can execute.
Now, I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again, because whatever your school district is telling you right now, do understand that it absolutely can still change. School and the start of school, whatever that may look like, is a moving target. And really, only COVID-19 is holding the bow and arrows. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Okay, Paula, and the Anchor Bay School Board will reevaluate October 2nd, which does not mean they will approve in-person learning at that time, but it does mean they will figure out next steps based on the current science.
All right, mid-80s temperatures are back and heading for even hotter than that.
Yeah, Ben's here with a weather forecast. Hi, Ben.
Yeah, guys, we're only going up here, at least in the short term. And once that heat fully returns, it's going to stick around for a while. These are the current temperatures. We've slipped out of the 80s, but we did get there in a lot of spots. The east side still one of the cool locations. Port Huron to Monroe in the 70s, but we're seeing 80s there from Ann Arbor up to Lapeer. And compared to yesterday, this is warmer, but we're going to continue moving upwards as we get into tomorrow. Humidity starts to increase as we get into the upcoming weekend. We'll look at just how much is coming with the heat, and the rain chances. Those are also returning as we get into the upcoming weekend, although probably not as big as some folks would like. You can track those and, of course, the temperatures over the next 10 days on the Local Forecasters app. It's got everything you need to know about our local weather and 2 current tropical storms, which are headed to the Gulf Coast. We will track both of those and look at your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, guys.
Ben, could be one of the largest payouts in state government history. Today, Michigan announced a $600 million settlement in the Flint water crisis. After 18 months of negotiations, the settlement directs the bulk of the money to claims that have been filed on behalf of children who were found to have elevated lead levels in their blood. Adults and businesses, though, are also eligible. The settlement would resolve hundreds of cases in state and federal courts. Today, Governor Whitmer acknowledged the settlement may not be enough, and the former mayor of Flint agreed.
We reached this settlement because further delays were unacceptable, and I want to acknowledge that Flint residents have been beyond patient. We recognize that the settlement may not completely provide all that Flint needs.
I think it's a step in the right direction. I think the people deserve more, but I'm glad that it's finally happening.
State is working to replace the lead water pipes and has set aside millions for early childhood programs, senior services, and lead abatement projects in Flint. But the settlement still needs final court approval, and we still need to figure out exactly where Michigan is going to come up with the money.
Royal Oak City Commissioner Kim Gibbs has died. The city posted the news of her death on its website this afternoon. She was in a car accident back on August 1st. Her car was totaled, but she seemed okay. Well, then on August 5th, her mother got concerned about Gibbs, who was found unconscious. She was rushed to the hospital, but she never recovered. Her family believes she may have had a seizure. Gibbs was first elected to the city commission in November of 2017.
A Westland man is in police custody after a string of break-ins in Canton. 58-year-old David Miller facing several charges, including breaking and entering. Prosecutors say the break-ins happened this month at 2 Bigby locations, a Subway's restaurant, and a tanning salon. He's due back in court on September 4th.
The Tigers are swept in Chicago, but ahead in sports, Bernie explains why they can feel like they won something.
Let's check in with Jamie Edmonds. Jamie.
A year without the Greek festival can't be.
Whoopa! Whoopa!
How Assumption Greek Orthodox Church is really the definition of making it work in this COVID-19 year.